Alrighty. You're listening to Max Mullin. I'm reading out my passage presentation for October 22nd, covering John Milton's Paradise Lost, Book 5, lines 601 to 608. So, without further ado, let's go right into the reading. Thrones, dominations, princedoms, virtues, powers, hear my decree, which unrevoked shall stand. This day I have begot whom I declare my only son, and on this holy hill him have anointed whom ye now behold at my right hand. Your head I him appoint, and by myself have sworn to him shall bow all knees in heaven, and shall confess him Lord. So this is Raphael quoting God to Adam. This is him announcing this Son of God, who we know as Jesus, as the new big cheese in heaven. So let's get straight into how I annotated this guy. You can see my notes aren't really the best. I kind of just scribble all over it in pen. Then usually with this, I annotate a bit more because I'm doing the passage. But usually I'll always have a notebook that I read along with because I don't like to write too much in my books. And here I'll ask myself some questions, think about ideas, that kind of thing. So the interesting thing to see here is that this announcement is backed with a threat. If you disobey, you're going to be cast out from heaven. So one of the words I had to define was virtues. I had never seen dominations and virtues used alongside thrones, princedoms, and powers, so hopped onto the OED for that, and found that it is used in reference to the order of angels according to this Dionysus gentleman, who is this old mystic who is influential in Christianity. So this is the OED definition. You can see that they actually quote Milton hand in here, and this is just something I pulled off a website outlining the Dionysian order. And an interesting thing to note here is that God says thrones, dominations, which is not dominions, princedoms, which doesn't actually appear here, virtues, which does, and then powers. So he kind of adds and onto dominions, it creates dominations, then adds princedoms out of nowhere, which I thought was a bit interesting. So, covering that, God's power language is reinforced by a slight modification of the Dionysian hierarchy. So dominion being replaced with domination. Obviously, domination is a bit more of an invasive kind of colonial word. We're going to go dominate some people, you know. And then princedoms, I thought princedoms sort of, like it adds a connotation that they are lesser. The prince is not the king. And this reinforces that God is still the king, and that his issue as well is still the king. And the people who are serving him, the angels in heaven, are just servants. Building on this, the language in this segment is really powerful. But that Milton capitalizes the pronouns for both God and the Son of God, makes it so that it's almost like the power is shared. And it's not really like, this isn't a request to endorse a new leader. He's forcefully handing it over and then saying, if you don't want to deal with this, then you can go. Bow all the knees. And then God's omnipotence. He always knows the future and the past, the fates of everything. So he would also know that there would be a war and a rebellion that grows out of this decision to appoint his son. So why is he doing this? Is he trying to root out the unfaithful? And if that is God's aim, that's a lot of pain and suffering, just so he can get the most zealous people in heaven. So this left me with the question of, is God really the good guy here? He's this great guy. He's capable of love, and we're obviously thankful for creating everything. But he's also the father figure. He's intimidating, quick to anger, and controlling, as I say here. Is the Son of God the only positive character? We know he does perform a truly good deed in the Bible, but as of this moment, that hasn't happened. So what does that say about God? He's using his power, using divisiveness, using violence against people. And, Satan uses this using coercion. So, yeah, that is all. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're thinking about whether or not God is truly the best character in Paradise Lost. Thanks for listening.